This goes back to Black girls, and let me read what Mia sent me, and it was really powerful. She said I could share her name, so let me share this B1 story for you. And so, and when I share the link for you guys, I really, really would love for you to tell me your story as well, and I'll put the link out at some point. This is a great story. The others were great. This is might be my favorite. I'm not sure, but check this out. Okay, it's very short. She says, Dr. Boyce, I started trading stocks at 16 years old. I won a competition to compete at the stock exchange, but my dad said I couldn't compete because I was a girl. Mia, if your daddy's still here, I don't know if he's here or if he's in heaven. Well, either way, you call your daddy, you tell him he needs to come to class. We got to have a talk man to man. I respect him for raising an amazing daughter, but that we can't do that, fellas. I mean, come on, man. That's everybody needs money. Anyway, let's keep going. So here's more. Here's what she says. She says, I immediately lost confidence and stopped trading for years. So, the lack of, well, her father's mistake, which again, her father, I'm sure he's a great man, but this was a mistake. Um, it caused her to lose her confidence, and she said she stopped trading for years, and that was really impactful because one thing I remember reading about was how sometimes one experience or one person saying one thing 50 years ago can affect you for the rest of your life. Anybody have that happen? Where somebody says something that is like in the formative years, maybe in the eighth grade, somebody called you ugly, and 30 years later, you still think you ugly. You done won beauty pageants and everything else, but you can't reverse that belief. I've gone through that. I had, and I one day, if we're bored, I'll just tell, or if it's late at night and I start drinking, I might, which I never will. I'll tell you all that story, but it was deeply painful, and it distorted my self perception. I'll just say that. So let's keep going here. She says, I immediately lost confidence and stopped trading for years. I joined your community, and as my wealth consciousness increased again, I gained my confidence back. And she says, thanks to Leilani's study group. Shout out to Leilani. I don't know if Leilani's in here, but I do know Leilani. She's in our mastermind. She says, thanks to Leilani's study group, I've started trading options. I even got my husband to join Prime with me. So I love that because it's now a family thing. She's shaping culture with her husband. And if anybody can shape the culture of a household, it's the mother and the father. It's the king and the queen. The king and the queen decide what the culture of the kingdom is going to be, and also the king and the queen are conscious about protecting the kingdom from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. So that means ignorance, you block it out. You race, whatever white folks are doing, you let them do that. Whatever the world is doing, you let them do that. That's your kingdom. You control that culture. You decide what the weather is going to be in that space. And you do that. If you do it properly and clearly and firmly, then you're establishing a pattern that's going to last for 100, 200 years after you're gone. You're establishing generational blessings. You're passing generational blessings as opposed to the generational curses that somebody else inadvertently, unconsciously passed on. They weren't conscious of how their actions were affecting other people, so that became a generational curse. Well, the same way you can create a generational curse, you can create a generational blessing. And so she's creating generational blessings as it pertains to wealth. Her and her husband are studying stock options together, which means that they're going to be in the top 5% of all Americans when it comes to economic education. See, you don't understand. I'm not done reading her comment. I'm gonna get back to it, but I need y'all to really understand, sit back and understand that. Look, I'm not playing with you. This is not. I have a PhD in this, so you're learning cutting edge stuff. You're not learning okey doke like, well, here's how you balance your checkbook, and here's 10 plus 10 is 20. We can cover all that. But most people walk to somebody on the street, just walk up to a random person, pick a white man on the street and say, "Hey, do you invest in stock options, sir?" And I guarantee you, I know he's white, and we think white people are magical or something. I guess I don't know. You can even pick a white guy who's Jewish, because we really think they're magical, right? And ask him, just say, "Hey, dude, I'm doing stock options. What do you know about stock options?" 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say, "I don't know anything about it. I've never done it, or I've heard of it, or I tried it, or I dabbled in it." But they don't know the science of it, right? So you're ahead of the curve, and you're making your children this too.